What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while since I last made a content for Essential Six. And since 2022 is coming to an end, I decided that I was going to make a content of my top six favorite films of 1992. It's been 30 years. Now you're asking yourself, Mike, why don't you make your best films or top films of 2022? The reality is I still need to see plenty of more films that came out this year. This year, to be quite honest with you, it's been one of the most disappointing years in terms of film because of the woke Hollywood, woke culture, mumbo jumbo. So therefore, I'm going to be very selective in what films I'm going to be watching. So that's that's the reason why I won't be making it top this or best this of this year so far. I might do that for the beginning of next year. So once I have a few more films to watch that I know that will be more worthy of watching. So because politics, sensitivity is getting in the way of Hollywood, and that's not making a person like me who's a moviegoer very happy. So I'm not too pleased with what I'm seeing from the industry so far. But here are my top six, my top favorite six films of 1992. Mind you, these top six are not in order from the best to the least. It's just anything that comes from the top of my head. So the first one is The Mighty Ducks. Yes, The Mighty Ducks, part one, which came out in 1992. It's the first one, along with the second one, are my favorite hockey films of all time. Emilio Estevez as Coach Bombay is exceptional. And what I love about part one of the Mighty Ducks is that it's the early beginnings of a team that is struggling. Bombay finds a way to show them how to skate, show them how to have fun, show them how to have fun while they're on the ice. Part one is essential in that regard. You see a lawyer in Emilio Estevez, who was a great lawyer, but he was a mess on the inside because he got in trouble with the law. And then for community service, he had to coach these kids, but then he fell in love with these kids and he decided to stick by them. And yeah, Mighty Ducks Part One, there's just so much to it. And that's why it's one of my favorite films of 1982. To this day, I still watch the movie and I have it on DVD. I've watched it like about 1,000 times. I never get tired of it because of the lessons, the themes that this film has. The second one on my list is White Man Can't Jump. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez. But Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, they stole the show. They're an impeccable duo, a black and white duo in this movie. I'm a fan of sports films. You know, I'm a huge sports guy. For those of you, it's not a big secret that I love sports. But the chemistry that Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes have in this movie is impeccable. And it's still a movie that is being talked about to this day. It's just amazing film, amazing film. Woody Harrelson and Rosie Perez had funny scenes together as well. And this is Rosie Perez where she was at the peak of her career because she had done Living Color as the choreographer. She had success with Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. And then this movie, White Man Can't Jump. So she was like, as a matter of fact, I'm not gonna make no comparisons. I'm getting a little tired of comparisons, so I'm not gonna compare it to someone else. But Rosie Perez, she was at the peak of her career, and I like her in this movie more than Do the Right Thing because she had more lines, she had more scenes, there was more just more, and there was just more complete of her as an actress in this movie than in the other movie. So White Men Can't Jump, definitely one of my favorite films. Great comedic timing by Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. And it goes to show that, no matter um, what your background, what your color is, if you have the skills, if you have the talent, you got to respect it. And that's what Woody Harrelson brought to his character in this movie. The third one on my list is the one and only Spike Lee's Malcolm X. Malcolm X, this movie is just mind-blowing, thought-provoking. It's a very long film, but it's definitely worth watching it. It's on HBO Max, I believe it is. And one of the things that pisses me off about this is that Denzel Washington should have won for Best Actor, but they gave it to Al Pacino for Sense of a Woman. But I understand it because it was one of those long overdue awards that they get to Al Pacino, but Al Pacino should have won for Serpico and The Godfather too. But the Academy is going to be the Academy. But Best Actor should have gone to Denzel. Spike Lee should have been nominated for Best Director. And arguably, you can argue that Ernest Dickerson should have been nominated for Best Cinematography. Malcolm X is a great film. Spike Lee did everything. He put his heart and soul into making this project. He ran through some issues with the Warner Brothers, but he got funding from a variety of different people, several big names like Michael Jordan, I believe Magic Johnson as well funded for the movie. He literally put his heart and soul into making that project. He read the book, he wrote it, he directed it, produced it. And that's something you got to respect about Spike Lee. I mean, Spike Lee is one of those directors who inspired me in terms of wear so many hats on set and to tell your story your way. So Malcolm X, definitely one of the best, one of my favorites, and one of the most powerful films of 1992. The next one on my list is Boomerang. Boomerang is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, the cast of characters that you have in this movie, Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry, Martin Lawrence, David Allen Greer, Tisha Campbell makes a cameo appearance. John Witherspoon. John Witherspoon had one of the best scenes of the movie. And what's so interesting about that scene is that he basically improvised the entire scene, which is amazing. It's incredible, but it's definitely one of my favorite scenes of the movie, which is the dinner scene. And he just killed it. He killed it. But Boomerang, Robin Givens, who played as basically the female version of Eddie Murphy, because Eddie Murphy was this, player, ladies' man. He never just sticks to a woman. He sleeps with a bunch of different women. And Robin Givens basically gives him the same treatment that he gives to women. So when he falls for her, that's when Robin Givens was like, I gotcha. And he was miserable. But then Halle Berry basically made Eddie Murphy realize that she's not like other women. She's definitely the one. I want that woman. And that even caused some friction with his own friend, like David Allen Greer, because David Allen Greer also really liked Halle Berry in this movie. But Eddie Murphy got the girl that he wanted, which is Halle Berry, and Halle Berry was fine. I mean, she still is fine to this day, but in that movie, yeah, Halle Berry is Halle Berry. Yeah. But Boomerang, definitely one of my favorite films of 1992. The fifth one on my list is Glengarry Glen Ross. This movie, when I think about this movie, is like watching the Golden State Warriors. Al Pacino, Alec Baldwin, Jack Lemmon, Kevin Spacey, um, Ed Harris. I mean, look at that cast is loaded. Is loaded with talent, with a lot of great actors. But and it's just an incredible written, directed, shot movie. Ugh, it is it is a 5-star caliber movie in my opinion. Al Pacino was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Um, but I mean, everyone in that cast should have been nominated for something because everyone in that cast brought it. And the way it was shot, the way it was directed, the writing, the acting, it was just everything all around that. It was just impeccable. I like the way they were lighting the scenes as well. It's just all around a great film. One of the best, one of my favorite films of 1992. If you haven't seen Glengarry Glen Ross, you should check it out. I believe the script was adapted. I'm not too sure, but I believe there was a book written about Glengarry Glen Ross. Um, but I definitely should get it. If I'm correct about it, that they wrote a book about it, and it was adapted, I'll definitely gotta buy it because sometimes a book it could be better than the movie. Sometimes a movie could be better than the book. But Glengarry Glen Ross, impeccable film. Last but not least, A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own is my second favorite baseball film of all time. The first one is Major League from 1989. And this movie, directed by Penny Marshall, rest in peace. Penny, thank you for giving us an incredible movie. And this, you have Tom Hanks. This is Tom Hanks before he entered his, I should say, status of greatness in terms of making much more serious films. But you have Tom Hanks, Gina Davis. Gina Davis had a lot of momentum going on at the time because she had success with Beetlejuice, Thelma and Louise, and now with A League of Their Own. She was outstanding in this movie. Without her, this movie would have not been great. The same thing with Tom Hanks. You have Madonna in this movie, Rosie O'Donnell, which both of them were X factors in terms of bringing that comedy flavor into the movie. One of the things that it irritates me about this movie is the character Kit, which I'm forgetting the actress's name, but she plays Gina Davis' younger sister. She was extremely annoying in this movie because she was basically jealous of her sister. She always blamed her sister about why she had to be so good, why she always had to get the attention. And that was just getting too annoying in this movie. That's the most annoying thing about this movie. But other than that, that ending of League of Their Own is beautiful. It's touching. It's feel good. Oh my God. I just loved it. Penny Marshall directed her ass off in this movie. And that ending, a huge round of applause. It's definitely one of my favorite scenes of the movie. So yeah, A League of Their Own. And I know that they made a series about it on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if I will see it anytime soon because there's just so many things that I want to see. But A League of Their Own is a special film. I've watched it so many times since I was a kid. I still watch it to this day. And it's one of the greatest baseball films of all time. It's definitely on the top 5 of my list, on not just best but favorite films, best and favorite baseball films of all time. And as you can see, one of my top favorite 6 favorite films of 1982. Well, that does it for Mike's Essential 6. I'm interested to hear what are your favorite 6 films of 1992. if you have it on your list, there's some honorable mentions like oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting about it. Unforgiven. Unforgiven is one of those that is an honorable mention. And there's another one that is with Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei. Oh my God, which one is that one? My Cousin Vinny. There we go. My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, those two are on the honorable mentions for favorite films of 1992. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, be safe and may God bless you all.